So, hi Go Run Girls. Yeah, we've got our copies. Hi Go Run Girls, Coach Maree here, and I'm joined with Sally McRae. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
I did have a plan, but I think I'm just going to wing it with you because I feel like we really do connect on a deeper level than just running.
Yeah, we probably should have recorded this early.
Yeah,
like 10 minutes ago. We've already had such a good talk. I'm on the verge of tears right now.
No, we've had a really good chat, and it's so humbling and awesome to know that you're just really down to earth, and you've gone through a bit in your life, and you've overcome things, and you've got a beautiful family. But welcome back to Tarawera after your win last year of the miler. And you're going to go out on Saturday, and you're sort of deciding what you're going to do.
Right now I've coming out of like a longer rest season. I actually had a few health complications in November, December. So I think in just respect out of my body, this is why it's so good to have a coach. Respect for my body is to build up wisely. But I'm like, I want to do the miler. I want to race again. I want to, but I think I would dig myself a hole. So right now it looks like I'll be doing the 50K.
Okay.
So or maybe I'll be on the media truck. So there's also that like here too, that I'll be on the media truck. But so.
That's where I'll be. Welcome. Have you been to New Zealand a few times?
This is my fourth time. My third time at Tarawera. I was down in Wellington 2 years ago for the Run Fest. Spoke there and did some clinics. So I love New Zealand. Love Kiwis.
And your social media is just going off, and you love doing videos, and I think, like, I did message you, and I said the thing that sticks out to me is that you're like sunshine, and everything you say is really inspirational, and it's kind of what I try and do as well. I love that about you, and you have a family, so tell us about your kids and your husband.
My husband and I, we will be married 17 years this year, and so we've been together since we were teenagers. And I have a daughter, Mackenzie, who will be 13 next month, and my son Isaiah, who will be 11 next month. So they're very close in age. They're great friends, and I consider it a gift every single day. They're healthy and able and happy. They love school. So these trips, when I go away, those things help. Sometimes I forget that. If I had a child with special needs, or if there was just complications with my children, it would be much more difficult to do what I do. So I really look at every aspect of my job, and just the family dynamics is. This is the unique, our unique family, and these unique opportunities are presented to me. Like, this is my unique life, so how can I make it the best I can, So really thankful for my family. They're an amazing support system to
They
me.
must be so proud of their mother.
Right now they're still at that age that they still want to hang out with me, and they think I'm cool. Ask me in a couple of years when they're both teenagers, if they still want to hang out. But my daughter right now, her dream is to become a professional runner. And she's been with me on a few trips, and she just went to Junior Olympics a couple months ago. And
oh wow!
She's got a bright future ahead of her. So my job right now is kind of pulling back on the reins. Her team, trains like 5 days a week, and I'm like, you can do 3. We'll swim the other days. We got to pull you back. So but she's having fun. She loves it. It's a good connecting point for us.
So we spoke a little bit earlier about Go Run Girls and the whole philosophy behind it, and how just trying to encourage girls to get out there and believe in themselves and be confident and start smashing these goals, whether it's a 5K, whether it's a 100K. And you probably do a bit of coaching yourself.
I do.
Yes. Oh yes, you do the camps.
Yes, I do trail running camps. I'm also on the Nike Plus Run Club app under audio guided runs. I can coach you through a workout. So I'm in the recording studio for Nike. And then I also, since having my daughter, because I really wanted to stay home with her, I created my own fitness and running business. And so for a long time it was outdoor boot camps, 5 a.m. because my kids were still sleeping. So I'd go out and I'd coach at 5 a.m. and then come home and they'd still be asleep. And then as I started really focusing on becoming a professional runner, it then turned into online run coaching. So it's kind of morphed into that.
Yeah, I was on your website looking at that camp, wasn't I, Han?
We've had several people from the other side of the world come.
That's so cool.
We have one guy that has come from, gosh, where has he come? He's come 3 times now. I want to say from Australia, 3 times to a camp. Just saying, it's a good camp.
Yeah. Sounds like it. So, biggest piece of advice that you could offer the girls on my page about getting into it, giving it a go, what you've seen in your time, what works maybe.
Yeah. You know, I always like to speak to the core of the person. You know, I could definitely put my run coaching hat on and be like, this is what makes a good training plan, or this is how you start running, or this is how running gets better. But I think at the core of it all is to start at the person. And it's first realizing that you truly have this awesome, unique life, regardless of how you feel about yourself, regardless of what you see in the mirror and maybe things that other people have told you that are negative or negative past. You know, and a lot of times we are our own worst critic. I think that it's really understanding and realizing, and your story is so inspiring, life is such a gift. It's a rare gift, and you get one. And the most amazing thing is that no one on this planet, or for all time and all history, will ever have the fingerprint that you have. And I just think that in and of itself should help motivate you a little bit to dream and consider putting that first step forward. So making a goal for yourself, you know, if you are considering to begin running, or maybe to set a new goal, maybe in a race or your first race, it's realizing that your journey within that is going to be unique to you and your life and who you are right now. And that every time you try, you are going to get better. And you know, for me, I've gone through different seasons in my life. I've gone through lots of doubts. I've had a lot of pain in my life where I really have wanted to give up. I stopped believing in myself, and I think that what has always kind of brought me back is, one, what I was saying in the beginning is like, this is it. This is my one life, and I don't know when my last day will be. No one does, and why not try? So. And I talk about this quite a bit on social media, the idea of I would much rather live a life full of failures than a life having never tried. And I think that when I look back on my life and I'm like, wow, I've had so many things I failed in, or that were not good ideas, or that were great challenges, and it's realizing, wow, what a full life. That means I was trying all these different things. Like, I lived a life of always trying. I was always believing. There was always like a goal. Like, I really believed that I could do something. And what ends up happening when we constantly try is we actually end up accomplishing more than we would have ever done had we never first tried in the first place. So, you know, just, you know, tackling the core of a person, I think, is the most important part, just in dreaming and trying something new, seeing the value in you.
So when did you start running? Have you always run?
Yeah, running has always been a part of my life in some way. So when I was 7, I would do a lot of like kid city races, and I was always pretty fast, but I had a great love and a passion for football. So we call it soccer back home. So that was my goal, was to be a professional football player. And so running was always part of fitness, you know, and you play a 90-minute game, you're running 5 or 6 miles within a 90-minute game anyway. So I was very competitive growing up. Our club team was at the national level. And so, you know, running was just part of fitness. It wasn't until 2002 that I embarked on endurance running. So when I thought, maybe I'll try a marathon, you know, what is that like, you know? So it's been a good 17 years of endurance running, but I'm in my 7th year as a professional ultra runner. So it wasn't until 2010 that I heard about these insane races. Who does 100 miles, right? That I thought, why not try it? That really all it was. My kids were 1 and 3 at the time, and I was like, people run 100 miles? Like, who does this? I'm totally trying that. And even my husband was like, I don't know how you're going to manage this with the 2 little ones and your job, and that's crazy, but I totally expect that from you because it's just how I am. So, you know, I look back now, I would have never thought in 100 years that I would be doing this, that this would be my job, that this would be traveling around the world and running up mountains and beautiful places. It's
the way you say it, like if I was talking to my husband, it would just be like, oh, that sounds really horrible. But when you say it, it sounds amazing, and I want to do it. And I want to do my first 100K. So how is your training? What do you have a training plan?
So I've learned over the years that I will always need a mentor, I'll always need a teacher, I'll always need a coach. You know, there's definitely a time in my life where I was like, I'll just coach myself, but I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much that we can't actually see unless someone comes alongside us and is like, hey, you need to chill, or you need to recover better, or you need to balance this out, or you know, use this strategy. So I have a coach myself that sets me up with a plan, but I would say the greatest thing that he actually does, which we were talking about earlier, is he talks me off a cliff about every other month. So I can sometimes be my worst enemy and take on too much, and I don't know if it's just from being a mother or really some of the challenges that I had growing up. I've always taken on a lot. I started working when I was 7 and had 2 jobs since the time I was 14, 15 years old.
What do you do when you're 7?
Oh,
what job is that?
Yeah, I used to like lay tile flooring and paint walls and put together ceiling fans and scrub decks. It was my dad's business, and so I would come. It was like my way I could spend time with him, but it wasn't like mandatory paycheck type thing. But I learned how to work, and I learned what it meant to have work ethic. And when I was 12, I started my own kind of babysitting service in the neighborhood, and I would do that 4 days a week all the way till I was 16 years old, just making my own money. And so I attribute a lot of the training, the hard work that is necessary to be a professional athlete, in learning that at a very young age. However, the other side of it is, and why I need a coach, is I sometimes struggle with taking care of myself and recovering properly, and you know, finding that balance. I think especially as parents, it's hard because every day is different.
An opportunity comes up, you want to grab it because you know you've got so many other things happening in your life, but you want to keep running, so you're going to grab it.
I do, with
both hands, and sometimes it's detrimental, maybe
that's probably kind of where I am right now in my career. Is the opportunities have become so many, both with, I have 7 sponsors, half of them are local to where I live, and so there's always this, hey, we want to do this film, or we want to do this social media experience, or we have this new product, will you come help us develop it, or can you fly it to Nike really quick, or you know, I work on photo shoots and video shoots, and I am part of product development, and I speak and I write, and there's just so many things that go on that I'm like, I'm also a mom and I need to train, that I have, you know, the idea of having a balanced life and schedule is right now is 1 day at a time, because it is a lot. I get up at 4 a.m. and, you know, do the best I can with what I have. But I have a great team around me that is constantly saying, all right, we're actually going to not have you do this because you need to rest, or like we need to dial things back. So
quality.
Yes, you want quality. Yeah. So with the races, usually around August, September, the race invites start coming, and there's so many that it's like I could race every 4 or 5 weeks. And the coach is like, pick a couple, you know. It's like, but I want to go here, and I want to go here, and I want to do this, and it's just, that's not healthy. So I'm learning. I'm still learning. I will forever be learning.
That's cool, because you got to keep learning and keep making mistakes, and that's life, and that's living. And tell me about your nutrition.
So nutrition for me is, there was a time when I first started running that I stuck to, okay, I'm just going to do vegetarian, or I'm just going to do vegan or raw. And the more I traveled, the more I realized how difficult that was. And I also realized that people would attribute my diet to who I was. So they'd be like, Sally the vegan or Sally the raw foodist. And I thought, wait, no. There's more to me than food. There's more to me than the way that I eat. And not only that, I think when you travel so much, you realize food is a connecting point. It's very social. And so if I'm invited into somebody's home and I'm like, well, I'm actually paleo, I can't eat that great pasta you just ate me. Like, I started to be a little sad about that. So I thought, I don't have medical issues where I can't have certain things. Different foods make me feel like eating a whole cake isn't going to make me feel good to go for a run, although that is tasty. But I'd say that the best way to describe my eating is just clean. Is just always, at the majority of the time, I'm going to eat something that was grown out of the ground or was alive, and try to stay away from the stuff that was in a bag or a can. Every now and then some chips sound good. But especially at mile, 50K and 100K, that kind of sounds good. But I don't have hard and fast restrictions as far as food goes. As it comes down to it, just eat for fuel. I think is the best approach for me. Like, is this going to make me feel good? So
saw you chowing down on the fruit at the barbecue.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty good.
Fruit. Yeah, but I also had that really good banana bread that was next to it too. Like, that was so good.
Oh, was that
banana
the cake?
Bread? Yeah, or banana cake, or was that what that was?
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah.
Good. So you're real as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So where are you going this year?
So this year I have, I'll come back home, and I will then go to the other side of the United States to speak at a speaking event, and then I'll go to Italy, to the Cinque Terre, to run the Sacca Trail, which is a 50K, and then I will come home and do Lake Sonoma, which is in my state, and then I'll go to Wales for a stage race. It's like a 5-day stage race called Dragon's Back. And then UTMB is supposed to be like the A race of the year, so that's in France. And then China in the fall. So looking at, a lot of different.
That's not a couple
races.
of events.
That's not a couple of races. That's a lot, as I'm telling you. Some of those might have to be shifted. But, sometimes Coach will have me go, and he'll say, okay, I want you to not put stress and just train through this, but that's not always easy either. It's, you want to race every time you do a race.
Just like now for Tarawera.
But some of these things, like China, I'm actually doing, it's for girls. It's a girls event to encourage the girls in the area to run. So I'm actually going over there to speak, and the run there is just, I'm running with them, maybe like a 10K. So that's not, that isn't a race. So I'm excited about that too.
Oh, how cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. We finally got here.
Yeah, we finally got here.
Very busy woman, but nailed it down for an interview.
Thanks for
watching. Thank you so much for coming and doing this for me.
Absolutely.
And I really wanted this interview and to meet you. Little girl crush. So you'll probably get lots of them. So this is a present from me to you.
Thank you so much.
I just heard the panel, and You don't drink beer?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Just rarely. I don't drink
Okay.
a ton of it, but I'll probably have one for my husband and one for me. And these are beautiful
I know.
cans.
So these are from Deep Creek, and they brew where I live in
awesome.
Whangaparoa, north of Auckland. So go up.
Okay.
And so they gave them to me to give to you.
Awesome.
And also a hat and a Go Run Girls diary.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you so much.
Oh,
You've
you're
been
so
good.
welcome.
I so appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yeah, come back and see us.
I absolutely will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, girls. Hope you enjoyed that. She's amazing. And jump on her page, and you're Yellow Runner, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
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 See you, girls.